You're one decision away from ruining a road trip. Book too much, you kill the fun. Book too little, you might end up circling for an hour, trying to find a hotel that isn't $300 a night or completely booked. I've done both, and there is a smarter way. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to book, what to wing, and one rule that keeps every trip stress-free. One of the biggest struggles in road trip planning is finding that balance between structure and spontaneity. Too much structure and the trip starts to feel like a military operation. Every minute scheduled, every stop planned, no room for detours or discovery. If you want your next road trip to feel spontaneous and smooth, I have visited all 50 states and over 80% of the National Park Service sites. So the tips I share on this channel, they come from real experiences. And I'm going to share my simple framework for getting it just right. Let's talk about the stuff you have to book in advance or risk it ruining your day. I learned this lesson the hard way. On a cross-country road trip a few years ago, I figured we'd just find a place when we got near the park. Big mistake. Everything was sold out. Every hotel and every campground. We ended up sleeping in a parking lot. Trust me, nothing ruins the magic of a national park sunrise like zero sleep. Some of the key things you need to book in advance include the following. Lodging near the national parks. Gateway towns, they sell out fast, even in the random Tuesday during shoulder season. Timed entry reservations at the national parks. Zion, Arches, Glacier, they're just a few of the parks that require it. Ranger-led tours and unique experiences with limited capacity. Think Antelope Canyon, a boat tour, Meow Wolf, and things like that. Boats and ferries have very limited tour times, and they stick to a rigid structure, so you'll definitely want to plan that in advance. Booking ahead doesn't kill the spontaneity, it buys you the freedom to relax. I saw the difference firsthand on a trip to the Hoover Dam. We booked our tour weeks in advance, so instead of scrambling for tickets or missing out, we just showed up, walked right up, and spent the rest of the day exploring stress-free. That tiny bit of prep meant the whole day unfolded exactly how we wanted it to. But what if you plan too much? That's when it backfires. Real quick though, if you enjoy national parks, check out my 3 secrets to your best national park trip in the description below. That free workshop dives even deeper into when to book your national park trips. Next up, what not to plan and why it's better that way. I still remember one road trip where I planned everything, down to the exact time we'd stop for lunch. By day 4, we were exhausted and running behind schedule. I found myself sitting at a gas station staring at my itinerary, too tired to be spontaneous and too stubborn to ditch the plan. That's when I realized I overplanned the fun right out of the trip. But here's the twist. The best moments almost never make it into your spreadsheet. There's a sweet spot between structure and surprise, and it starts with letting go of the small stuff. Lunch stops, bonus attractions, roadside stops, and stretch breaks are the best when they're not locked in. They're where serendipity happens. The quirky diner with homemade pie, roadside shop with vintage postcards, or the scenic overlook you stumble on by chance. Short hikes and viewpoints are also something to keep flexible. How do you feel on a given day? Weather, energy level, timing? They can all make a difference. What sounds good in the planning phase might not be what you want in the moment. Here's a tip for you. Use Google Maps or Google My Maps to pin ideas without committing. Leaving space left us with one of the best meals of our trip. A barbecue shack we never would have Googled. If you want 75 unique themed road trip ideas, think food, architecture, sports, and more. I made a free guide that you can get down below. It'll make your flexible days way more fun. So how do you find the right balance without second guessing every decision you've made? That's where the simple rule comes in. This simple rule, it saved our trip. One of the best things we ever started doing on road trips is what I like to call the noon rule. It came from a chaotic cross-country road trip where we kept putting off booking hotels until last minute and spent way too much time stress scrolling at 8 p.m. trying to find anything with vacancy. By night 3, we were laughing about it just to keep from crying. Eventually, we made a deal. If we hadn't booked our lodging by noon, we stopped for ice cream or a bakery shop and pulled out our phones and made the plan right then and there. And honestly, I think that rule saved our sanity and our marriage. Suddenly, those late night frantic searches disappeared, and so did the stress. Another fun bonus tip, check Rakuten for cash back deals. You'd be surprised how much cash back stacks up by the end of a trip. So a good rule of thumb is, if it has limited capacity, strict hours, or makes or breaks your day, book it in advance. Another bonus tip for you, check the cancellation windows and keep a safe town pin for each night. You don't want to end up in a bad area. You don't need to plan everything. You just need a system that lets you relax into the day. Now that you know what to book and what to leave open, another big mistake people make is trying to drive too far every day. But how far is too far? If you've ever hit the "are we there yet" wall, the next video breaks down just how far you should drive each day.